Does anybody know what line of service the United Way provides funding for the American Red Cross in our 4 county areas? I'll even give you a prize if you guess.
Smoke alarms?
That's really, come on up and choose your prize. It's actually disaster cycle services. Yeah, absolutely. But smoke alarms is one of those. And so we will come out and install smoke alarms free of charge to anyone who needs them, which leads us into our next question. Does anybody know how long smoke alarms last? This includes, yes, whoever said that, come on up. Good job. Yay. Yeah, no, shout it out. Pick out a prize. So smoke alarms only last 10 years. And after that, the sensors in them start going out. That includes your hardwired smoke alarms as well as your battery-operated smoke alarms. And so the smoke alarms that we install have a 10-year lithium battery. So the great thing is you never have to replace the battery. You just have to push the button to make sure they're still working. So great job there. So next question was, anyone's home impacted by the flooding that happened about 6 weeks ago? No, but you were impacted by flooding before. Yeah. Do you mind sharing a little bit about your experience with that?
It was the 2019 flood.
Oh, yeah. That was a horrible time. Come on up and pick out your prize. But yeah, so about 6 weeks ago, we handed out about 200 cleanup kits to people that were affected here in Grand Island, and also Wood River had some flooding that happened there for basements. Flooding is probably one of the worst disasters you can have because a fire and a tornado take it all away. Flooding, it leaves everything there and you have to sift through it, and most of the time you have to throw it away and you have to gear up. Oh, it's awful. So I'm so sorry that you experienced that. So does anybody, do you have a question? Okay, perfect. What percentage of our workforce is done by volunteers?
30%.
30%. Go ahead and pick a prize. That's not right. It's higher than that. Go ahead and grab something. So we have flashlights here, water bottle, and a cap. Another guess?
60.
80. So I heard a 60 and an 80. Come on up and grab a prize. Actually, it's 90%. So we have tons of volunteer opportunities for those who want to volunteer. And personally, I'm looking for a volunteer partner that will go alongside me to meetings and just learn about Red Cross. So if you want to become like more of a leadership volunteer, reach out to me. I'd love to have the conversation. So for example, in September, we'll spend 4 days in Omaha. All expenses are paid, but you get to work with some really cool people and, of course, hang out with me. So anyway, so does anybody know what specific test we are doing when you donate blood this month? Something that we normally don't do. We've only done it one other time. It is not, but come on up and pick out your prize. It's actually A1C testing. So we did it back in March. So if you donate blood anytime this month, your blood will be tested to see what your A1C level is. And we're going to do it one more time this year in November. So we'll test it once a year. And does anybody know what percentage of those that donated blood in March received letters about elevated A1C levels? That's a really good answer, but no, it's 20%. So 1 out of 5 people received letters that said, go ahead and pick out a prize, that said, hey, you donated blood and your A1C level was elevated, which can, it's a pre-marker for prediabetes or full-blown diabetes, and a lot of that can be reversed through diet and exercise. So it's great that we're here at the Y. We just learned about all those classes. So in the 15 minutes that we have been together, does anybody know how many units of blood were needed across the nations, either blood or blood products? Any guesses? In the last 15 minutes, how many units of blood or blood product was needed across the United States? A guess? I'll tell you, 450. Every 2 seconds, somebody in America needs blood or blood product, whether it is for sickle cell disease, whether it's, for cancer treatments or burn patients or people who have experienced heart attacks. So blood is a perishable product. So if you donate platelets or plasma, those usually only last about 5 days. If you are donating whole blood, it is 46 days. So it cannot be manufactured. It has to be given through a person just like you and I. And we test every unit of blood that we get. We type it and get it sent out to a hospital so it can be used. So if you think that there's not a big need for blood, there is a huge need for blood. That's why you probably always get phone calls from the Red Cross and you're like, I know that number, decline, decline, decline. So, but we always appreciate blood donations because it can't be manufactured. We can't save it for a later time. It has to be used and transfused. We have one final gift. It's a hat. Does anybody know the most common blood type that is transfused in America? So I heard, no, it is not O negative. O negative, yeah, O negative is the universal blood type. O positive is the most transfused blood type. So if you have, actually we need every type of blood, but O negative, O positive are our most transfused. The O positive wins out every time. It's crazy. Does anybody have any questions about the American Red Cross?
How often can you give them?
Every 56 days. If you do power, we call them power reds, you can go every 112 days because we're taking 2 units of red blood cells. You can donate platelets every 7 days. Platelets only live for 5 days. Those are usually the ones that go for our cancer patients. So yeah. Platelets, does everybody know what platelets do in your body? They're amazing. So when you have a cut, platelets act like honey and they go and they stick together and that's what causes the scab. And so those who are experiencing and going through chemo treatments, they need that to help their blood. We also do an initiative with sickle cell disease, which mainly affect Blacks, African American and Latinos, and that's where the red blood cell takes oxygen rich blood to all of your vital organs. And if they have sickle cell disease, it looks like a little sickle, farm sickle, and so it causes pain crisis, and it can cause tissue damage, it can cause organ failure, and even stroke. And so those who identify as Black or African descent can be a sickle cell warrior and help those who suffer from sickle cell become more healthy. So on average, about 100,000 people suffer with sickle cell every year, and they may need up to 100 units of blood every year. So it's a pretty amazing initiative that we're doing.